BNP Paribas to pay $9 BN to settle sanctions violations. France's largest bank BNP Paribas has agreed to a record $9 BN pounds 5.1 BN settlement with U.S. prosecutors over allegations of sanctions violations. As part of the deal, the bank will plead guilty to 2 criminal charges of breaking U.S. sanctions against trade with Sudan, Iran and Cuba. It will also be prevented from clearing certain transactions in U.S. dollars for 1 year from the start of 2015. The settlement is the largest for such a case in U.S. history. Between 2004 and 2012, BNP engaged in a complex and pervasive scheme to illegally move billions through the U.S. financial system, said U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder in a press conference. In doing so, the bank deliberately and repeatedly violated long-standing U.S. sanctions, he said. Mr. Holder added that he hoped the settlement would serve as a warning to other firms that did business with the U.S. that illegal conduct will simply not be tolerated. As part of its agreement with U.S. authorities, BNP agreed to fire and not rehire 13 individuals who were associated with the sanctions violations. Unfair decision, BNP said. As a result of the fine, it would take an exceptional charge of 5.8 BN euros pounds 4.6 BN in the second quarter of this year. It said this was on top of the $1.1 BN it had already set aside to cover the cost of the U.S. penalties. However, it said it expected no impact on its operational or business capabilities, and said it would post solid results for the second quarter. BNP Chief Executive Jean-Laurent Bonnafé said resolving the issue was an important step forward for the bank. "We deeply regret the past misconduct that led to this settlement," he added. France has been pressing the U.S. over the size of the fine, which almost equals BNP's entire 2013 pre-tax income of about 8.2 BN euros pounds 6.7 BN, $11.2 BN. French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius has previously said a fine of the size suggested would be an extremely serious problem, an unfair and unilateral decision and not reasonable. US regulators have recently stepped up their actions against banks that violate laws against money laundering and tax evasion, amongst other violations. Earlier in May, Swiss bank Credit Suisse agreed to a $2.6 BN penalty, and admitted criminal wrongdoing in helping tax cheats avoid paying US taxes. And in 2012, UK-based bank Standard Chartered paid a total of $674 pounds 419 to US regulators and authorities for illegally hiding transactions with Iran and other countries under US sanctions. To date, the largest fine levied against a bank by U.S. regulators for sanctions violations was the $1.9 BN HSBC paid in 2012.